Hey, my friends, it is time for Dollar Store Children's Sermon. I'm recording the children's sermon for tomorrow and for the next week, and so I thought might as well do Easter here and now. This is like if you were in a place that has Sky Zone, which is the trampoline place. This is going to be Springboard Sky whatever, because it is, I've got ideas upon ideas. Some of them are repeats from a year or two ago, but they all are connected in one way or the other to Easter. Yes. So, and I'm going to put links as well on the Dollar Store Children's Sermon talking about this, but so one of my favorite and probably one of the more popular Dollar Store Children's Sermons is the one using a pack of gum. And I'll post all the details, but the whole idea is that these little packs of gum, which you can get at the Dollar Tree, they are the packs of gum which allow you to open up the bottom of the gum. You can peel open the bottom of the gum, and then using a nice little technique like this, holding your hand and tapping, you can actually get the gum out of the package. You remove the gum, you put the package, you remove the gum, refold the package and put it in there and reseal this, and lo and behold, you have a pack of gum that's empty tomb. So I'll post a link to that. You can get more details on that. But there's that. A little while ago, I did a children's sermon, kind of the silliness. I used a chocolate cross. Well, today at the Dollar Tree, I saw that they actually have smaller chocolate crosses. So if you wanted to give your kids, if you're meeting in person and you wanted to give your kids a chocolate cross and talk about how God has the cross is a terrible, terrible thing. But Paul tells us that God has taken that and made it into a symbol of life. Symbol that, it's chocolate. That's a complete opposite of the cross. So it's one of those things for longest time when I saw this, I'd be like, oh God, give me a break. But I like it. I like the idea that God has taken the sense of the cross, this horrific torture device, which I wouldn't necessarily use that language in a children's sermon, and turned it into life-giving. So, chocolate cross. Talk about empty tombs. You could at the Dollar Tree, they have the, yes. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to go down into the basement. There we are. I got this out of the basement. So they have these containers at the Dollar Tree that you put together, and it's one large egg. So you're holding your egg like this. Oh, man. I can't believe what's inside of here. You're not going to believe it. This is amazing. Oh, this side here you can't see through, but this side, this is absolutely mind-blowing. This is the coolest thing ever. Do you want to see it? I don't know. I can't help it. I've got to show you it. This is so cool. Look, it's empty. And that's the whole empty tomb. It's amazing. And turn around, it's like, yeah, it's empty. It's empty. And that's the good news. And so we play on that. That's the springboard for that, this empty tomb. But this playing, it's like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. So there's that. Yeah. I posted a photo of me at the Dollar Store Children's Sermon, not me, but actually my basket, and someone had mentioned you wanted to see what I was doing about the Peeps. Well, honestly, this is just for a bad pun, and that is, me and my Peeps were talking about Easter, and I wanted to tell you about the story, just as a way to enter in. It could be this here. You know, me and my peeps, you know, we were talking about this egg, and we saw this egg, and it was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't you agree? They agree too, me and my peeps. And then move on here. Anything to be silly, anything to have fun. It's Easter Sunday, where we get to celebrate life, new life found in Jesus Christ. So, a couple of other items. They have the glow ball. Now, if you've followed the Dollar Store children's sermons for a while, you know I've done a couple of things using the glow sticks. And the glow sticks are great because there's the sense where you break it, and the idea that out of our hurts, out of our wounds, God can bring light and bring good news. That God doesn't cause them, but God can use them. And I've said it in different language, but this here really reminds me of this idea of the tomb. And when the tomb gets cracked open, and you don't actually crack this open, but you can bounce this ball, and as this is cracked open, and light, new life, shed for the world to see. So using the glow ball. So because it starts off, it's not glowing, but then when you bounce it, or when you crack it, and then it starts to glow. So this idea that the tomb, when the stone has been rolled away, it's been cracked open, and death is no more. So there's that. All right, I told you, I've got there's a lot of stuff going on here. I have a video on this, but this is a bag. You're like, really, John? A bag? Whoa! But this is a bag that is double-walled, and the idea is that I haven't glued this together so I can show it to you. You get at the Dollar Tree 40 of these. So you've got one bag here, and you've got another bag where you cut out the wall. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I'll post a video about how to create this. But the idea is that you create a double wall, or a secret pocket. You have inside this pocket, you have on the one side of the pocket, you have a crepe paper that's all together. It's all it's like a long piece of red crepe paper. And then on the other side, you have this pocket where you'll rip crepe paper and you'll put it in there, and at the end, it gets restored, new life, and the tomb, as you rip it open, the tomb is empty. I will again post a link on the Dollar Store Children's Sermon site so you can find out, I take like 8 or 9 minutes on how to make one of these. This is a great one as well. So we've got that. And then we have the arrow. And this is the one-way arrow, and this, depending on the light, this foam core, you can see an arrow through the other side depending on the light. I would just use a piece of cardboard paper, a piece of cardboard from a box. And the idea is that we've got an arrow that's pointing up towards God, and it's about how Jesus directs us to God. And the whole story, I mean, it continues to point directly to God. Now, through this last week, we've seen time and time again where people have been trying to take and move it into a different direction. Jesus was handed over to the authorities to be crucified, but again, that God is on a mission. And as the arrow continues to turn and point us to the direction. The cross, Jesus goes to the cross, and again, they think they're moving God into a different direction, or they're going to take God off to that way. But no, God knows what's going on. And again, Jesus dies on the cross. And we're like, that's it. There's no way, that's all there is. But no. Easter Sunday, the ultimate arrow is pointed, and again, God directs our ways to God. So that's the direction of the arrow. Now this here is, you take a piece of cardboard, and what I do is I hold it like this so that it's a diamond shape. I draw the arrow, and then on the other side, facing me, I want the arrow facing that direction. So I've got the arrow on this side, and then on the other side, I'm holding it this way. So when I'm holding the arrow, when I'm holding it like this, and like this. If I turn this, basically I'm turning it so this side here rotates around like this. And that keeps the arrow going up. Then, when I turn it like this, so it's facing the opposite direction, I just turn it this way. So when the arrow is facing this way, if I want to get it facing up on the other side while you're watching it, I grab here, and I turn, and I turn, and I turn, and I turn. And this, if I need to, turn it this way. And you can tell you can tell how you need to turn it by looking at the arrow on this side. So, there we are. There's that, one-way arrow. Then lastly, I know, I told you, springboard, springboard, springboard. Lastly, it's using the butterfly, the symbol of new life. The butterfly for a long time has been the symbol of new life, breaking out of the tomb, breaking out of the cocoon, this transformation of the old life to the new, and here using it to talk about the tomb. Now, I'm going to talk about how this empty tomb, this new life in Jesus, surprised everybody. Everybody. It wasn't until after Jesus was resurrected that people started to get it. Jesus had been talking about it, but now the new life. That's amazing. So, how or what are you going to do? Take these butterflies and you are going to tape them. And you can actually cut out butterflies or color butterflies. You know, you don't have to buy them, though these are pretty darn cool. They've got so possibly, but taking these butterflies and taping them to the back or pinning them to the back of your alb or the back of your jacket or the back of your dress or the back of your clothes you're wearing. So you don't know they're there. And the idea is you've got nothing in front of you. If you're meeting in person and the kids are there, you're there and you're like, you walk in, you're frazzled. You're like, I'm sorry, I'm a little frazzled. I'm trying to figure stuff out and I cannot find what I was going to bring to show you, to talk to you about Easter. I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. And you turn around to look for it, and you've got butterflies on your back, and the kids are going to tell you about it. And you turn, and you're like, where? And the kids are like, there are butterflies on your back. And you turn back around, and you're like, what are you talking about? What? Butterflies? What? And it's from there then you use the idea of butterflies to talk about new life. I love it. And it's one of those things, anytime, this comes from the times I've spent doing sleight of hand and doing magic. But when I'm performing for kids, when kids have the opportunity to see something or to know something that the adult doesn't, it puts them into a position of power that they are not used to having. And that is a great experience for them, and they will remember it. I'll do magic tricks where it's called look, don't see, where I'm seeing here and I don't see it, and the kids will point out and they see what's going on. And so to have that opportunity where you're like, I'm trying to find it, and the kids are like, they're on your back, and you're like, what? It adds a level of humor, but it also adds a level of memory and empowerment that the kids are helping you do something. So anyway, this has gone way long, but there's some usable springboards here, I am sure. So thank you always for your partnership in ministry. It's another Easter for a lot of us online, and even if you're meeting in person, it's definitely a hybrid or not like it was 2 Easters ago. But remember, whether we are streaming online, whether you worship in the sanctuary, Christ is risen. Christ is risen indeed. Amen. All right, we'll see you all next week. Peace.